It's gonna be freaking sick. Oh my goodness! That was insane.
That's alright. Hush.
Yo guys, what is up? Max from Outriders video, and today we're going over my new firepower Devastator build. Now, I've been playing Devastator for a little bit of time. My gear is nowhere near perfect, and I'll tell you guys where you can improve. But this build clears content faster than my Trickster, which blows my mind. I have a 4-minute Boomtown clear, an 8-minute Chem Plant, Arcways at Enoch in like just under 8 minutes. It's ridiculously fast. It clears everything so quickly, and it's practically unkillable, which is just crazy. If you guys do enjoy the video, we're so close to 150k subscribers. I really do appreciate you hitting the subscribe button if you learned anything new. And with that, guys, let's get into the video. All right, so for the format of the video, we're going to talk about the skill tree and the abilities first, and then we'll go into the gear and the things that you need. And there should be little timestamps at the bottom so you guys can scrub to whatever part of the video that you're interested in watching. So first off, skill tree. Now, one thing that's a big difference from playing any other character to switching to a Devastator firepower based build is you really need armor pierce. Armor piercing will make a world of difference to you, and it's very, very important to grab as much armor piercing nodes as you can because they will help out your damage tremendously. I messed around with Anomaly in Veins and the Circle mod. I tried it for a while. People were telling me to do that. I didn't like it as much as this top tree spec, but here we're grabbing weapon damage, armor piercing, close range weapon damage. We are a shotgun build. I tried with an assault rifles. Assault rifles were really strong, but I do like shotguns a little bit more. They just feel better using at close range. More armor pierce, more weapon damage, critical damage, weapon damage, close range weapon damage, weapon leech, more damage to elites, magazine size, reload time, confrontation, armor breaker, more armor piercing, and altered charge. When kinetic skill ends, increase your weapon damage by 70% for 10 seconds. This is huge. We love Bounty Hunter. Getting heirloom armor and Colossus and Stone Circle is the changes that I needed to make to survive. These were the changes that I had to make to survive because these pair so well together. Heirloom armor, you're gonna, when you kill enemies, you're gonna get their armor, you're extending that close range damage, and you're extending that close range damage that your weapons reach, which is just so nice. I originally was spec'd into champion, but it turns out that I was keeping up golem so much that I didn't actually ever really get benefits from this champion thing, besides like when I procced it when I first walked into an area. So that's why we really don't think that you need this node. Now let's talk about the skills that I'm using. Now, we're, once again, based on our skill tree, we need to be using kinetic skills. I tried Endless Mass. I didn't like it. It makes enemies immune. It's too awkward. I really just did not enjoy using Endless Mass. So Gravity Leap is going to be our low cooldown skill that we're getting Altered Charge from. Our Golem is going to have a ton of synergies with our mods, and we're also using Tremor, which will also have a ton of synergies with our mods. You can mix and match these. You definitely need a kinetic skill, but I am using Gravity Leap. Golem is going to keep us alive. We can go full damage mods because we're using Golem, literally like full damage, and not worry about dying because we're reducing 65% damage. And then Tremor is just really nice AoE, and it staggers or like just makes enemies have a hard time hitting you. So it's really great. Next up, let's get into the mods and the gear. Now, this is where I'm gonna say that my gear is nowhere near perfect, like literally nowhere near. The main thing that you need is a shotgun with ultimate damage link, the god roll here, and a lot of you probably have this. I broke mine down because I'm a dingus. And you want a dash shield with fortress and ultimate damage link. Ultimate damage link is so important. I honestly don't like using this bulwark here that much. It's fine for the most part. I'm using the Anima with Moaning Winds, which really isn't doing much for me. Once again, I'd love to get Fortress here, or a God Roll Purple Shotgun with Armor Pierce and like Bone Shrapnel and Ultimate Damage Link. But the number one thing that you want on your weapon is Ultimate Damage Link, which you can get from this thing, the Voodoo Matchmaker has ultimate damage link. You can break one of these down and get one. If you farm the beginning of the game, you have a much higher chance of getting a Voodoo Matchmaker. So yes, from like story content rather than like expeditions, you've had a chance. But the reason ultimate damage link is a must-have here, and I didn't discover this. I was shown this. People in chat kept telling me to use damage link. It works very strangely well with the firepower set from the statue set. And there's a weird bug with the statue set right now that I'll talk about in a second. But note that ultimate damage link apparently is like triple dipping in our firepower, and the damage that you're going to do, the reason this build does so much damage is because note how it says 40% of your weapon damage. You're going to be doing way more damage to the enemies that are linked than the actual damage of the enemy you're shooting at. So if you want to kill a brood mother or a captain or anything tanky, shoot at the stuff next to them, and the damage link will actually be doing way more damage than your actual shots, which are crazy. But you can also shoot at a captain or whatever, and all the adds around him will die. Once again, the main thing that you want on your weapon is armor pierce. The fortress or death shield doesn't have that, but it makes up with it for fortress. Next up, for your gear, I found bonus firepower, cooldown, reduction, and close range damage to be the best. These are the rolls that I use on Trickster. So if you already have a Trickster, pretty easy transition, but you are going to need some mods. So we're trying to upkeep Golem all the time. We want to have Golem up all the time because that is our survivability, and when we don't have it, we go down. So we're using Perseverance on Golem, increase the skill's duration by 100%. Golem of Death, when the skill is active, extend its duration by 2 seconds for each enemy killed. And then Bleeding Impulse, Golem, when the skill is active, spawn radial impulses that inflict bleed on enemies within a 10-meter radius, frequency of 2 seconds. This, once again, we're going to keep up Golem all times. We're always close, but we're using this with Vampiric Mag. This is our way of inflicting bleed onto enemies and the way of keeping up our magazine. You really don't get a lot of ammo, so you need to have some ammo sustain. With shotguns, Vampiric Mag is what will allow us while we're running around having these bleeding impulses to go around to keep up our magazine. Now, the statue set trick that you can do, you don't need to do this. It is very powerful though. So if I put on the statue set right now, you'll need 3 pieces of the statue set. My firepower is already high because I did this earlier. But if you proc the statue set, you're going to get its 100% bonus firepower. Once again, this only works for you. It doesn't work for your teammates. If you then take it off, it stays. Your armor, your firepower from that stays. Now, I keep the chest on because I love this. Power of the Stones. This says when your skill is active, you and your allies get 40% weapon damage, or it doesn't say you, it works for you. So you're going to get 40% weapon damage. This is why we're using Tremor for this 40% weapon damage for 8 seconds after activating it. We're using this with Captain Hunter, bonus firepower, skill life leech, and cooldowns. Next up, I'm using Sharp Eye and Damage Absorber. Damage Absorber is null here. You do not need it. You do not need the armor. If you have Golem up, the best thing that you could put here is the tier 3 blood mod that gives you 25% increased damage to enemies that are bleeding. I don't have that yet. If you do have that, Sharp Eye with that is going to be a ridiculous amount of damage. Next up, on our gloves, I'm using Bloodlust with Vampiric Mag. Bloodlust for more firepower and Vampiric Mag. You're easily going to get over 600k firepower on this setup. But Bloodlust, Sharp Eye, so strong on any firepower-based build. And then Stare into the Barrel, boost your firepower by 10k for each enemy in close range, stacks up to 5 times. This combo just works so well, and your firepower is going to be ridiculous. Honestly, if you don't want to use that statue set, I haven't gotten the boots or the gloves or the pants yet, but the mods on this are honestly really good. So you can get away without using it. You are going to lose a little bit of damage by getting like Tremor mods, but you can honestly take them off and roll really good things. For example, these boots, Stare into the Barrel and Bleeding Impulse, are the same, and you could keep Grand Blast on here and put Golem of Death. Pretty much the exact same. You're not really missing out on much, but you can squeeze an extra mod or 2 in there if you are doing that swap, which once again, definitely not necessary, but it is very strong to allow you to get even extra mods while maintaining your set bonus. It's a little cheesy, but it's crazy strong, and we're a Devastator. You could use it or you could not use it. But yeah, guys, that's kind of it for the setup. Use shotguns with ultimate damage link, use armor pierce, use 3 golem mines to keep up your golem with bleed, use Captain Hunter, power of the stones, sharp eye. Once again, don't need damage absorber, bloodlust, vampiric mag, bleeding impulse, staring barrel. Your rotation on this build, basically, you activate your golem. You're gonna want to make sure that you're in this at all times. Make sure you're keeping an eye on it, and then you can just like leap slam onto someone, pop tremor into a group, and you will kill everything. The damage link goes absolutely nutty. It goes absolutely nutty with this build. You'll be damage linking things for way more damage than you could ever imagine, and it is so strong. Obviously, a little bit gear dependent. I'm working on a only purples Devastator build, and I should have my anomaly build for Devastator out, but I wanted to share this with you guys because I didn't even think this could be possible on Devastator. I really didn't think we could do this much damage, but it's absolutely crazy. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will catch y'all on the next one. Take care. Peace.